is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going through a video titled I'm Leaving YouTube and the truth behind how I got cellulitis. With regards to the first part, factually inaccurate because you're a slave of views. You have nothing else in your life, you don't make money anywhere else anyway because you're useless. And the second part, the truth behind how you got cellulitis. It's called supermorbid obesity, or an even shorter word, consequences. Oh wait, hang on, maybe there isn't. There's a lot of syllables. Can you count? Anyway, the video has 2,000 downvotes, and ignoring my comment because I'm obviously going to leave it there, we all know you ain't quitting YouTube. Newsflash, people still have to work, do chores, take care of things while on antibiotics. And that's true. People have to do this while suffering many problems, physical or mental. We all have to do that. No one has, well, there's no such thing as a person without baggage of some kind. You will eventually become antibiotic resistant based on how frequently you need to utilize antibiotics. I know people have to rotate their painkillers for different types because their body adapts. This is true. Using telehealth to diagnose a potentially life-threatening infection is insane. Well, WebMD had to go up and you don't like Helen Keller because despite her disabilities, she could communicate much better than you could ever dream of. Well, this should be interesting then, shouldn't it? Let's dive right in.
Hey guys, welcome to the weekly vlog. So if you have not seen my weigh-in video, I have cellulitis.
Yes, you have it from standing in a puddle, and apparently your legs are sponges. They're so porous, in fact, they drank that puddle dry, which is what they must have done to put on the 5 pounds you put on last week. And we didn't see you weigh in. We only have you tell us that. I could firmly believe it was bigger, or more, greater, larger, but you rounded down. It could have been 9.9 pounds. And you went, well, it's not 10, so I'll go back down to 5.
If you want to hear the whole story and everything that happened,
I'll link my video mocking you in the pinned comment down below. It'll be underneath a little promotional thing for a lolcow trading card game, with a promo code as well. Support this channel.
so I just feel like super under the weather. Like I still did my live stream today and I felt off in it. I did the best that I could though. I did not want to film my weigh-in at all. Literally forced myself to do it.
So we all know the real reason why. It's because she's given up on the whole, counting calories thing. Because she was claimed to be eating at the higher end of her target of 3,400. But, as we know, even with her little assistance from Newman, Google and Blair, we know that she's eating over that because at her weight and her height, she has to be consuming another 1,000 calories minimum. And then to put on 5 pounds when she does virtually nothing means that this is all utterly redundant. She claims to have walked into a puddle, basically, and put on 5 pounds of weight. Because lymphedema, lipedema, sponge legs, and cellulitis. Because that's how that works. When excluding what you intake, which you claim to be the same every day, you've magically put on 5 pounds of water weight, okay, through a condition where your body just made it itself. Okay. Make this make sense, I guess?
It would have drove me crazy if I didn't at least vlog something. I am seeing my mom tomorrow. I think we're gonna have like a girls' day. We definitely both need it. Only if I'm feeling better, which I have my fingers crossed because I am on antibiotics and they are gonna start kicking in rather quickly because that's just how it goes. Like I know all my signs of getting cellulitis and I always get it taken care of really quickly. So I always catch it before it gets hecticana, if you will.
Being the species of alive people, some on borrowed time, you are one of those, it is not overly difficult to have to do things that you must do to get by. If you're in such a privileged position where you don't have to, then don't. Of course, if you can take the time, take the time. But you have members-only live streams and you don't necessarily have to do them because of your schedule, you have to do them because you need the memberships. Straight up, you hadn't done them until you started to need the money. And you've got a lot of members, somehow. You need that money because things are drying up. And instead of looking to improve your situation, you're not. You undoubtedly have a bunch of, let's say, kink-type folk in your audience. They have to be there, because they're the ones undoubtedly propping you up. Because it sure as hell isn't the haters. The economy of people watching you through the lens of another person is vastly more popular than you are.
Hey guys, so it is the next day. I'm trying to decide if I want to wear my hair up or down. I guess it really doesn't matter. But I am going to go hang out with my mom for a little bit. We're actually going to go to the movies And this movie theater, like, you sit in these seats and like the leg part goes up, so it'll be good for me to rest my legs for my cellulitis.
What about the chin? You see, a year ago, you had one chin-ish. It was less pronounced that the second one was there. You have gotten even bigger in the space of 7 or 8 months. And while I'm all in favour of you spending time with your mother and telling us about it in your Dear Diary, Captain's Log content, recapping like a movie channel but without anything interesting happening in the background, it's not really content, is it, Amber? And that is a big crux with why your views are going down so much.
And I know there's a reaction channel who has decided to put out the narrative that my cellulitis is a lot worse than I actually let on. No, not at all, because the minute I see a tiny little red moment in my leg, I actually make my telehealth appointment immediately.
Few things. One, telehealth, don't try us. Go see a doctor, you silly bish. Second, cellulitis in your legs. We've seen your legs recently. Why can't you show us this? Third, watching the haters, are we, of world. Thing is, without evidence, you can't debunk them by simply saying it. Your appeal to authority means nothing. It's a fallacy. If you actually want to debunk them, and stop watching the haters, the haters of world. Because honestly, that's also not good for your health. Let them have their fun, because you're a piñata, and apparently you've still got much more to give, except for evidence. Show us your medical records if you're that interested in debunking things. That medical portal I think everyone in the US has? Yeah, you should have one of those. You won't, because that means providing evidence, but you should, because, honestly, the haters know enough about you already, and I've seen that cookie crumble video. What you did with your hands is a bit weird. I will admit, I thought they drooped more.
I have expressed this ad nauseum. When I catch my cellulitis this quickly, it makes it extremely manageable. And the antibiotics I'm on is called doxycycline. I'm not good at pronouncing stuff like this.
Since this is my area of expertise, that is a broad-spectrum antibiotic of the tetracycline class. It's used to treat things like chlamydia, Lyme disease, syphilis, typhus. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm smirked.
And I'm supposed to take them for 14 days. So I take them twice a day. But yeah, it's literally pretty simple. Like, I went to bingo Saturday night is when I stepped in the flood.
I'm starting to wonder how many more inflections in your voice I can tolerate before I start pulling hair out. But since I don't suffer from Shawn head trichotillomania, I don't want to. You revisiting this story to have to tell the audience because you have nothing new to add to any conversation, nothing new to show us in your weight loss journey, nothing showing you doing anything, because apparently it's not overly complicated for you to shove something in your face. But it is complicated for you to go for a walk because you have everything imaginable to stop you. You're not seeing that toxic positive glitter and lasers. Lots of workouts. Too much positivity is toxic. But they have all the issues in their legs as well, which they've actually had operations on. Regardless of the toxicity and some of their shitty attitudes and behaviours, they lead by an example you can't even comprehend.
Got a small popcorn. So I got my small popcorn, and then I also got an icy. So we're about to leave the movie, but while my mom was at work, someone kissed her car. You can literally see the foundation from their nose and from their chin. Isn't that funny? So I'm about to take her outside, but oh my gosh. The movie we saw was Drop. My mom liked it. I thought it was okay.
I was critical earlier because she doesn't really show us her doing anything, and the only thing she's done in this clip is show us a few bits and her vaguely doing popcorn in what is dubbed as small. I don't do popcorn that much, so I'll take your word for that. The funny thing, though, is that as she's holding Twinkie in her arm, we see the side profile, and yeah, no, things have gotten worse for you. You really do need to get your stuff in order before your mum becomes a full-time live-in carer, as if you don't have one already.
Uncle Potty, I thought it was alright, I guess. I also have to go take out my trash. But you guys, there's a whole other rumor about I have open wounds on my leg. No, that is not the way getting cellulitis works. Like, I can't be Dr. Lynn over here because apparently people just want to use Google to find out everything instead of me, someone who has lived this since I was 16 years old. That's decades, plural, decades of living the experience.
If you're snoring in the background, my 2 dogs, well, 2 out of 3 here, because Mia's in here as well, are having a jolly good snooze. Firstly, you use telehealth and have used WebMD. Second, your fallacies of what you live and your lived experience, which makes you an authority on it, are absolute bullcrap. Don't try me. Third, this wide lens view is not suitable for you in the slightest, because you are wider than you are tall. And I do believe if they put something around your waist and measured your height as well, you would be that, wider than you are tall. This is the most unflattering angle next to anything near your chins you could possibly post. You looked thinner in the cookie crumble video. And finally, because this is an important point as well, you need to stop obsessively criticizing your haters when you have nothing of substance to offer them in response. Beyond, me.
So for people who want things to be explained a little deeper, which I can be like that too, a lot of the time really, yes, an open wound can cause cellulitis, but you can also get cellulitis with literally, if you have the tiniest little...
Shut up, not interested. The most common cause of cellulitis is through a break or opening after a wound or skin condition. Now you could say lymphedema, lipedema. No, there'd have to be a break in the skin. Now, you said you caught it early. You can't see your legs most of the time unless you look in a mirror. You can't see the majority of your body because of your body. Your torso inhibits your ability to be good to yourself. You think you're an authority on yourself, but you can't look after yourself. If you're an authority on your castle, your frame, you are the worst ruler your body could ever have. You'd be better off if there was no function in the brain, because at least then your body would be able to look after itself without you trying to be a curse towards it. Anyone else would think that the mind in your brain right now is a parasite intentionally seeking to race the body to the bottom, which is why I think it's funny the medication you're on for your acclaimed, your reasoned and well thought out, and yes I said acclaimed cellulitis, what we all stand of course, also treats syphilis and chlamydia, which I can believe you have.
Hey guys, so it is the next day, and this antibiotic that I'm on is kind of kicking me in the butt, and I just don't feel the greatest. Plus I have an infection going through my body.
That's right, Amber. Milk it. Milk it for all it's worth. Milk it like a good milky infection. Because that's how it works. Her body's fighting everyone. It's not only fighting infection, of course, it's fighting, well, death.
So I am still filming my what I ate today video, but I'm gonna add 2 days in it because like literally I just feel so bad because it's not gonna be a good what I ate today video by no means. I kind of just like need a moment, like...
Yes, we get it. You ate far too much and you don't want us to see it. You'll claim you've eaten 2,600 or 2,800 calories, or 3,400 being the top end of your target, but the reality is because of your water weight gained from your sponge legs, you'll continue to put on weight this week because now you've been dragged down by an infection. Yes, I did the inflection just for you. Kind of hectic, I know. You will undoubtedly attribute that to continued weight gain. Might I suggest you prepare for the inevitable future? Go and buy more cushions now, because you're going to need them when you're laying on your bed all day, every day, being changed by your carer, the one that you claim is not.
I have a bad habit of like, when my cellulitis isn't like at its worst, because trust me, I have been going through it with cellulitis since I was in high school. Like I was hospitalized in high school. Like it was genuinely scary. And even just like a couple years ago, like I had cellulitis so bad that like my temperature was like 104. I genuinely thought I was dying.
You know what you should do then, when things like this scare you so much? Use it to impact positive and permanent change in your life. Not go and do AMAs over social media, which is what you do. Cry about it in your videos, hoping for sympathy, which is what you do. Use it to act and be definitive in what you do. Because if you did, you'd accomplish a lot more. A health scare should wake you up. For you, it just gave you an opportunity to double down in something you're still doing to this day. Except this double down's a triple down gatto, loaded with garlic olives.
Hey guys, so it is the next day. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like the spoon theory, but it's where like you wake up every day with a certain amount of spoons and it kind of reflects like your energy and how much you can give of yourself.
Well, considering the only other time you have energy is when you're eating or when you're hot for a new wifey in your life, I can't imagine there are many spoons in your life at all. Also, the spoon's not real. You're welcome.
So I'm trying to be like, where do I put those 5 spoons? And YouTube has been on the bottom front here, which is okay. It's understandable. I'm gonna have days like that. I'm gonna have weeks like that. You know, I have mental illness. I have just everyday human issues.
The vast majority of your issues are compounded by your obesity. Super morbid obesity, to be more specific. Your half-ton heifer status, that is. Well, on path. Track 4. Whatever it is. You're on the right path for it, to get it. Yes. Well done. Achievement unlocked in the future, no doubt. But you don't do anything to change that. And YouTube is one of your major sources of income. You're a slave for views because your views are no longer anywhere near what they once were. It was 100k a day for you back in glory days of the mukbangs for you. But now here you reside, you stand briefly because it's one of the few times in a day you'll actually stand up. And you offer nothing but further, oh, but I have this and this and this and this and this. You're younger than me. Humans do have conditions, of course they do. Everyone has something, but the vast majority don't complain about it and think they can fob it off for monetized content.
But I'm not giving my spoons to YouTube as much this week. I'm trying my hardest still. I hope that you guys know that. But my spoons are going to things that is helping me mentally, and just I'm putting them into things that are just like helping me survive day to day. I feel like a cell phone that's only waking up on 50%. Like it literally will not go above 50%.
For this analogy to work, you'd have to forget that based on how cell phones now work, 50% is still a good day's worth of battery. If you know how to manage your power a bit better, don't use it too much, know when it's right to apply your energy, your battery that is, your analogy would work better if we still used NiCad batteries. Yes, I remember the glory days of batteries that barely ever lasted that could be taken out of a phone and replaced with another, because I used to repair those phones. You're one of those. You need a new battery, but your battery is actually a brain. I recommend a lobotomy. I'm smirt. WebMD told me to tell you that. Or was it telehealth?
Hey guys, so it is the next day. I was actually supposed to go hang out with my friend. She was gonna come pick me up.
Is this the same friend that everyone believes that you obsessively watch, they believe is your carer? Because if that's the case, please stop calling him friend. Just be honest for a change and admit they're your carer. Because when they do eventually get outed for being your carer, we're not going to be surprised.
But I think me even doing anything this week was probably a bad idea, like going to the movies and then to bingo last night. I'm supposed to be resting. And I've just also been just not feeling the greatest because of it, obviously. Antibiotics don't make me feel the greatest.
Oh, Amber. Any excuse to not do anything, am I right? You make me so proud. We all have off days. There's a guy that goes to the gym. He used to work there, and he's just come back from being away, and he's incredibly jet lagged. He still went to the gym. Why? Because you have to put in your session to maintain your body. This guy's a power lifter. He knows the price he pays. And then he went straight to work afterwards. I'm telling this little anecdote, which you can disregard if you like, because anecdotal evidence, right? To point out and prove the point that people just do because they have to. You don't because you have an excuse. Everything's an excuse. Everything's a reason for you to sit on your shelf butt and do nothing. It's beyond embarrassing, by the way.
Alright, you guys. Hello. It is the next day. Alright, you guys. So it's been hours and hours since you last saw me. I was able to do my bedding. I was able to do my mopping. Everything that I normally do on Sundays. But I chose to do that instead of grocery shopping because I still have some things at home and I can always Instacart. But I wanted to do my weekly Amazon haul.
Don't care. I'm skipping a little now because I want to try and find the part that's relevant to you leaving YouTube. It's probably right at the end, knowing my luck. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, and she did include a bit here where she was taking medication, the antibiotic she claims, but she only used it as an excuse to show us water, basically. And to talk about her taking medication and then leading on to the whole chores thing that no one cares about. Again, if you're going to tell us you're doing something, you're not doing anything. If you're showing us you mopping, that's content, right? That's actually a vlog, a video log, as opposed to you just standing around and saying things. You really don't know how to vlog because you are so damaged.
Alright, you guys, so it is time for the Oracle reading. The 3 decks I am using today are What's the Vibe, Life Happens, and Believe in Your Own Magic. So I'm going to edit out all the shuffling besides the one shuffle that I do where you see me pull the card.
I'm going to be that guy. I don't care for tarot readings in the slightest. They mean nothing to me. It's all a load of bollocks. Second, you do not know how to shuffle to save your life. Third, if you want to pin anything you get from these claimed readings onto your life or make it relatable, that just tells me how much of a narcissist you really are. I'm further going to prove that point by playing more of that crap that you call a reading. And if you are a tarot reading type, that's fine. In the context of Amber, it's solely used to fuel her own little ego. The only thing about her that is little. Well, besides her peanut brain.
This reading is about how I have gone through a lot in my life. It has been crisis after crisis after crisis, chaos after chaos after chaos, and it's created this. It's created this morbidly obese, BPD, CPTSD, anxiety, paranoia, food addict, like who genuinely just wants to be happy and to be healthy and to be loved and to love. And I'm bitter, bitch. I'm salty that this is my life, and now like I have to fix it.
You can take a weight off your shoulders if you, instead of thinking and acting in your interests because you think it's all on you, if you stand up impatient. But you won't, because you don't want to make any changes, Amber. This reading, as with any tarot reading to me, is a load of bollocks. I don't need to have my ego stoked enough to have such a thing thrust upon myself. And again, I'm not going to judge those that partake in this. Only Amber, explicitly. It's like the Ozempic and semaglutide. If you take it, I don't care. I care that Amber takes it, because she's not seeking to help herself or improve herself. She's only seeking to look like she'll do something while making no discernible changes in her life. So when are you quitting YouTube?
I'm going to be taking a break from YouTube. I don't know for how long. I need a mental break. I need a physical break. I need to rest. And I just need
to lose weight, stop making excuses for why you're failing, eat less, go to the gym. Should I list off anything else? Oh, stop being a skank, find rarity. There's more if you'd like. I can do this all day. There are many things you could do to make changes in your life, and if you're taking a break from YouTube, you must have enough money in your coffers right now to justify it. Thank you, members only, I guess, in that instance, for propping her up, because it sure as hell wasn't the video views. Anyway, as we're done here, I'd love to know what you'll think. Do let me know in the comments down below, and how long you think she'll be away for, if she's not back already. A grand reset I'm sure will be due. Another series of goals and journeys and series is undoubtedly on the horizon. Yay, all of us. I shall be later streaming on Twitch, some Euro or American, I think it's Euro Truck today. If I don't see you there, have a wonderful day, and thank you all very much for listening. Ta-ta everyone.